is is a good way of sharing knowledge and bridging the gap. So, as I said, so I'm going to look at how we can improve the diabetic care and well-being. So we need to think and act differently. It's not only thinking, we have to put into action. Otherwise, things won't improve. So I have to put into action. So in order to do that, so need to look at the mindset, how our mind operates. So I'm a neurodevelopmental pediatrician. So that's my expertise on how people's minds work, how it causes kind of problem. It's the kind of mindset change, how we look at the issues, how you work on it. That's the way the world improves. That's the way the modern world, like in 21st century, if you look at the smartphone, they came through with the mindset change. In the past, we had a Nokia phone. How Steve Jobs brought the mindset change into smartphone, everything in the palm of your hand. So that's the mindset change. So that's the way the world operates fast. So we need to work smart as like a smartphone, how smartphone operates. Simple phone, look like a simple phone, small thing, but it works smartly. So we also need to work that way. Then we need to work together, like a voluntary group, doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, physicians, diabetic GPs, all need to work together. So what are the gaps related to diabetes and how they impact us? So we need to look at the gaps. There are a lot of gaps. I'm going to pinpoint a few of them. First of all, health and well-being and how we perform, how we productive. So diabetes affects our health and well-being and also performance. It make you not perform well, lethargic, affect our health, so we can't. Then it causes stress. So knowing the diabetes and the things causes stress. Stress itself precipitates diabetes, stress. Then rapid aging, the too much glucose rise and insulin, all the consequences make our body cells to age quickly and die and degenerate. So that's lead to chronic inflammatory diseases. So that's also caused as a non-communicable disease, NCD. This is the biggest disease of the 21st century, not the infectious disease. The infections and things are all improved. So diabetes is one of the non-inflammatory, it's an inflammatory disease. Then other gap is, the gap is misinformation or disinformation. A lot of misinformation about diabetes all day. So people are still following it, thus affecting their health and well-being. So I need to look at the correct information. How do you look for correct information? The social media and the TikTok and all those things, there are a lot of things people, pushing out a lot of information. The information is all out there. So need to know how to get the information, how to put into practice. Then behavioral addiction. So this is the kind of biggest addiction of the 21st century. So you have heard about the drug addiction and things like that. Behavioral addiction is our behavior lead to repetitive behavior, like eating sugar, the kind of our food addiction is the biggest thing. So without knowing that, so sweetness of the taste, the brain thinks as something safe and nice. So if you have too much sweet, the brain associate with the secretion of dopamine and make you feel happy and enjoyable, then you want more and more. Then you become behavior addiction certain. Then so that's one of the reasons the diabetes is a behavioral addiction lifestyle disorder. Then I put it in blue, the red things as a dangerous things, a bad thing, and the blue things are kind of good thing, like a nature's color. So taking responsibility, being empowered. So good thing like having this kind of forum like that, it help you learn and taking responsibility and being empowered. I run a training program for parents. I'm a neurodevelopmental pediatrician. We run a support group called Sparks. We run a kind of worldwide program in UK, India, Paris, Canada. So we run a kind of fortnightly program and then activity on children with neurodevelopmental problem like autism and things. So by we empower people, we have been doing for the last 6 years. This is the 6th year. I'm used to empowering patients, empowering parents. So that's the way forward for managing chronic diseases. So then we look at today's topic is about physical and mental well-being. So who separated the physical and mental well-being? If you look at this, strange. In the past, one doctor used to deal with all of it. The medical doctor used to deal with them. So psychiatry and psychology is only a recent field we separated. They separated them and they put more and more word in the mental. So by saying the mental itself, make people to be frightened. They don't want to engage in things, mental well-being. So it's a kind of new separation. But if you look at the kind of, in traditional medicine, Ayurveda and other things, they don't separate mental and physical. They look at holistically. You're not separate. Brain is not separate from your body. So all together. So I need to look at the kind of holistic way. So learn and think and act holistically and live in harmony. So don't separate that. This bring it together. All interacts work together. And then if you learn that way, then you'll be able to live in a balanced way, harmony. So look at your life at a cellular level and glucose molecular level. So if you look at the cellular level, then it'll become easier to understand how we're going to do. So I'm going to show you in a minute. So what are the types of gaps how you can glosses? One is a knowledge gap, then is a skill gap. So the knowledge gap is the first step. So you have to bridge the gap of the knowledge. There are plenty of things available. There's also expert program in the NHS. They provide, as a patient, you become expert, learn and support and empower other people, skill. Then motivation. Motivation is linked to your emotion, how you feel your emotion. So without the emotion, you cannot get motivated. Even if you have the knowledge and skill, if you're not motivated, you're not going to put in practice. So you need to work on the motivation. Then the next thing is the behavior and the habit change. So because I told you, unless you change the behavior and habit, you're not going to do it. You must have a knowledge, motivation. Then if you don't do it and put it to the habit, normally all habits takes more than 8 to 10 weeks to do. So new habit takes about 7 to 8 weeks to develop. So to do it on regularly without failing, and then you will change the habit. So in order to do that, there's a term called neuroplasticity. In order to bring about changes in the brain, anything can be done in the brain change. There's a technique called neuroplasticity. I don't have time. I was going to show you some videos because time is short. I took the video out. So be curious. And there's a note called mind the gap. So when you go in the train, they say, mind the gap, mind the gap. You don't want to fall and die yourself. So you have to mind the gap and then promote well-being. So let's look at the cell. So in here, I want to do 1 billion, one of 30 billion human cells. The human cells are in different shapes and form, but they all generally form. But all of them require right amount of glucose for energy and well-being. So all the cells need glucose. So without that, they cannot survive. So then they respect and follow lots of rules. The cells follow lots of rules. And they function in harmony. There's a diverse cells, but it doesn't fight against the religious basis or color basis or the basis they don't fight. They work in harmony. And then they also work in harmony with the microbes in our body. There are viruses, bacteria, funguses in the skin, in the gut, everywhere. They work together. And also they work in harmony with the environment. So if we damage all of them, then the cell cannot function. So our lifestyle, behavioral addiction, exploitation of the environment and exploitation, abundance of some materials are overwhelming and damaging these poor cells. So the cells are damaged by our lifestyle and way we look at. Now look at this kind of unique cells. How complex it is when you look at this, a nucleus, and there's a kind of Golgi apparatus, and there are so many, they all have a different function. They all have unique function. So in here, mitochondria is the powerhouse. That's the one break down the glucose and gives us energy. So I'm going to go and focus on the mitochondria. Before I go to the mitochondria, so I wanted to, let's see, okay. So before go to the mitochondria, so I wanted to look at the life-promoting molecule or life-terminating molecule. There are some molecules which are promoting life, other molecule will terminate your life, cause a problem and make you ill, die not peacefully, die with lots of disability, chronic diseases, dementia and things. So you prolong life, prolong death. So that's the choices you have. So what is the first molecule? Glucose. Glucose is a 6-carbon atom molecule. It's called pentose molecule. And this molecule is a plant synthesized by photosynthesis. So the sunlight is synthesized. It's sweeter. So this is what we rely on. We live on it. Then there's another molecule called fructose, which only contains 5 carbon atoms. This is a pentose, fructose. Look at this, it's a different size. The why plant produce fructose? The fructose produced in order to send the seed and spread the seeds for birds and animals can eat the fruit and take the seed and disperse. It didn't produce glucose for human beings to do. But human beings, somehow they modified the plant and genetic engineering, selective breeding. They made the plant so sweet. The fruits are so sweet. Even lost the seed. Like there are grapes without seed. Banana used to be with the seeds. Now the banana without seed. So humans modified it, so fructose is 2.5 times sweeter. So what happened to the sweetness? When you eat fructose, it cannot be converted into energy. Immediately stored into fat. Excess glucose digested or metabolized into uric acid. That's a very dangerous molecule. In the past, doctors didn't know this fructose converted into uric acid. They thought uric acid they link with only gout. So many doctors even don't know that. Even I didn't know that until I read that. So uric acid is the culprit causing all the dangers. So you need to learn about that. So next molecule is a sucrose. It's a sweet sugar. So plant produces sucrose. Sucrose is a glucose and fructose together, joined together. It's a disaccharide. So it's a sweeter than the glucose. Okay. So the fruits contain sugar and fructose. Then the third one, starch. Starch is made of lots of glucose molecule added together, like this molecule. They all glucose molecule joined together like a chain. That's a starch. So starch then separated into glucose. Then after digestion, then there's another molecule, fiber. Fiber also made from glucose. Plant make the glucose and then convert it into fiber molecule. There are a lot of things there, but fiber cannot be absorbed. But only the bacteria in our gut can use the fiber and make some useful molecules for us. In here, you can see in the picture here, yummy sweet, lots of sweet. Making is so dangerous. It contains sugar and fructose, and so fully packed, jam-packed. So Indians are famous for, giving us a present. So this packet was brought to a home by someone. They thought they're doing a favor to us, giving it, but they are in fact not doing a favor. They are harming. They are doing danger, bringing some death to the house. So I'm going to go to the next slide. So now I'm going to show you what happened when the glucose comes into our body. So when the glucose, in the cell, I told you cell membrane. Cell membrane, the name itself, membrane, like a brain. The membrane, the cell wall itself, so clever. It would not allow everything just like that. So in order for glucose to get inside, there are lots of probe inside, and in a path, it only closes and opens this way. In order for glucose go in there, it needs the insulin. Insulin together only, it can get into the cell. When you get inside, the glucose converted into ATP, then it's into carbon dioxide. So that's the way the ATP is the powerhouse energy. So in order to do that, mitochondria need to function well. If the mitochondria gets too much glucose, it cannot function. Too much glucose will damage the mitochondria, then mitochondria will die, the cell will die. That's what causes the inflammation. But too much insulin also damages the mitochondria. So your powerhouse will be damaged. Next one. So I'm going to show you how you can bridge the knowledge gap. There are 2 books, all of you worth buying this paper copy. Please, if you want to improve your diabetes and management, fantastic book. The Glucose Revolution, written by a French scientist. She put everything in a simple form, in the form to life-changing. If you buy the book and read, it'll be a life-changing for you. Then drop acid is telling about how fructose, a danger molecule, how it converts into uric acid, causing all the problem like why obesity, insulin resistant, diabetes, fatty liver disease, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, stroke, neurological disorders, premature death, all have in common uric acid. So a lot of doctors don't know that. So they will be giving misinformation, disinformation. So get on your feet, buy the book and learn, and then to improve yourself. Now I'm going to, from the Glucose Revolution book, I'm going to show you the gap. So when you take a bowl of Special K, so Special K advertised as a healthy lean fruit, but it's all disinformation, misinformation, all lies. The truth is, when you eat the Special K cereal, so what happened? If you use the continuous glucose monitoring, that's what the author did. So she used the continuous glucose monitoring. She monitored her glucose. When she eats the bowl of glucose, the glucose suddenly goes up like a boom. That's called spike. So when the glucose goes up, it goes over 30 milligram per deciliter. Amazing. So we went over that. Then after that, it comes down. So this is the one dangerous spike, going fast, then coming down. When it's coming down, it causes mood changes, affecting the emotion. Then also when it comes down, it causes hypoglycemia. Blood sugar goes down. So it's a yo-yo, going up and down, going up and down. It's happened daily. Every time you eat 3 meals. Then in the lower graph, giving a bowl of rice. All the Indians, they thrive on rice, bowl full of rice, mountain of rice. When you eat the rice, see bowl full of rice, do the same thing. Same thing. So in here, then it's rice and salmon together. So you can see it goes up and then stays like that. Now, clever way of doing it. Now you can see the other one. So what she found out, if you change the way you eat it, so what do? You eat the salad first or protein first, salmon first. You can eat, look at this picture, salmon first, rice second. So the curve is flattened. So the gap is now narrowed down. So the big gap narrowed down. If you do that, your diabetes will improve. You will not get all the complication. You will lose weight. You will have a well-balanced, happy, emotion. So in this Glucose Revolution book, she gives you what kind of way you can eat your food and enjoy the food. You can have a little bit of sugar or sweet at the end. At the end, she's not saying that you don't eat the fruits or anything. Take a small piece of fruit to enjoy at the end as the things. Okay, so that's a part of it. I'm also doing a program called Mental Fitness Coaching. So we're going to do a kind of interactive program on this Friday. This program is worth $1,000. This program is meant for senior leaders and managers. So anyone who wanted to know about it's done in English, you have to be kind of senior, kind of level. You do some work and support who are based in UK, because it will be for UK people, UK time we'll do it. So I'll send the kind of program is to Hanif. Then it's about a mental fitness program. So because the time is limited, so the mental fitness is your capacity to respond life challenges with a positive rather than negative mindset. So if you do that, your performance improve, mind wellness and stress management will improve, healthy relationship. And there's a book called Positive Intelligence. You can also get the book and read about it, get to know. There's a kind of website in there. You can go and look for it. And I'll stop my presentation this way. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pavan. That was an amazing presentation. We've been submitted a few questions, and I will put them to you, and then hopefully we can go to the participants, and we'll go to the first question was been submitted by Saima, and she said, how can you determine if mental stress is affecting your glucose levels?
How can I determine?
Is if your mental stress is affecting your glucose levels.
Okay. So there have been lots of research, like, when you're stressed up and then by wearing the continuous glucose monitors and then things like that, the people have done that. So there's a lot of research done on stress. So it's been proven that stress causes is increase the glucocorticoid, stress hormone, and that stress hormone increases the glucose. There's been lots of research done. So you can go and look for it. That's proven.
Yeah. A question from Mr. Shah. He's asking, how long does it take after you eat for your food to break down into and turn into sugar?
How long it takes
for your food to break down and turns into sugar?
The food doesn't turn into sugar. So when you say food is a very thing, if you eat a sugar will have to be converted into glucose and fructose. So the enzyme have to do that. So it has to go to some water. So that may take about half an hour. You may remember, if you eat the starch and if you chew in your mouth, there's an enzyme in your mouth that will start to break down. You feel the sweet taste. So that happens within 5 minutes or so. So some starch started to break down in your mouth. So when you break down, you feel the sweet taste. So like that, depends on how long this is passage and goes to small intestine. All the digestion happened in the small intestine. That takes more than half an hour later.
Great, thank you for that. One more question, and then we'll go to participants, and also Mr. Vaz will be joining us from Los Angeles. One question is, question from Mina is she's asking, I'm a type 2 diabetic. How do I reduce stress levels?
So the question is type 2 diabetes and?
How do I reduce my stress levels?
Okay, it's good. So that's a good question, because if you look at the stress level, it happened due to various reasons. This is one of the biggest problem of the 21st century. Your work, your performance, you're worrying about unnecessarily. So you would have heard about it, to manage stress. First of all, you need to look at what factors causing the kind of stress that you need to reduce. And also there are programs like the kind of yoga, mindfulness, meditation, all those things. You had to, ideas there, but you have to practice it by practicing and working on it, because you're trying to manage your mind to calm down. So you have to work on cut down the workload, cut on things, take on, because we are living in lots of abundance, like a mobile phone, food, and all things, too much abundance. You have to declutter, cut down, all those things. It's about managing your time, managing your priorities, and effectively. So the stress management is so many things. Then if you have a coach or someone or helping you, then once they give the advice, then follow it.
Great, thank you. We'll go into, Jasik has raised his hand. We'll ask Jasik if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question to Dr. Pavan.
Thank you, Arif. My question is about fructose. I mean, all the fruits got fructose in it. So is it bad to eat fruits?
Okay, so that's a good question, because all the misinformation things, five fruit a day and things, they think the fruit is good for us. And also, if you check the blood sugar, certain fruits contain fructose. Your glucose won't go up. If you taste the blood test, it won't go up. But the danger is the fructose is going up. That is 10 times dangerous than the glucose, damaging your mitochondria and things. So the answer is yes. So the fruits, type of fruits you eat. So if we eat a bowl full of fruit like that, it's going to go up. But if we eat the fruit after eating salad and other food, take a piece of small fruit later on as a small piece, enjoy it, that would not increase your blood glucose. So you need to read this Glucose Revolution book to understand. So the things are like, we make it easy for, easy to do, eat the food and things easy, but life is not so simple as that. You need to work and understand, take your time and first understand yourself. Then once you know that, then you get an eye opening for you. Once your eyes open, you'll see the fruits with a different light of eye. So fruits are, they are the kind of benefits. You need to look at which fruits is good for you, which fruits are dangerous for you.
Okay, because I thought you should eat fruits first thing in the morning before
That's what I
you.
told you. Misinformation, lots of misinformation, disinformation. So now, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you used the Nokia phone, isn't it? Why are you using smartphone now? So the information I'm giving you like a smartphone. The information you have like a Nokia phone, all information. So change the information, learn it, and apply it. So like those are all the misinformation, wrong information.
You should eat fruits after your stomach is full.
Yeah, so you eat a little bit of fruit after, so change the way you eat it, and also quantity of fruit. What are you eating fruit? So that you are enjoying something like that. So there are lots of misinformation. That's what the 21st century is all about. You have a choice, you have a power. Go and search for right information, learn about. Don't just simply consume it, consume wrong information.
Thank you.
So by consuming wrong information, you are damaging your health. And not only your health, your family's health. All the cereal, packet cereals, so dangerous. All the cereals.
Thank you. We've got one question from Chandrika, then Davinder. Chandrika, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, good evening,
Good evening.
everyone. I just wanted to ask, a question regarding the fruit that is being just raised. I have seen the dietitian, and dietitian is saying the fruits, when we do smoothies, goes straight to your bloodstream. I don't know whether it's correct. I was being told I can't have a smoothies because it just goes directly to the bloodstream. Better to eat fresh fruits and things. And I know everything has got fructose, nectarine, all sorts.
Okay.
What's the best way to go?
That's what I told the gentleman earlier. So dietitian and even doctors, we all need to update according to the current research and things. Not all of them are updating or learning. So if you read the Glucose Revolution book and the Drop Acid book, then you will find it yourself. So you have the power. Knowledge is out there. You can go and read it. So life is important for you. Your condition is important for you. So you go and read that. So all those information, they are constantly updated. Like if you take your phone, every month, the software will ask you update, isn't it?
Yeah, there is too many books out there, and everybody's saying, "Oh, buy that book, buy this book for diabetics."
That's why I'm saying that your phone is asking you to update every 3 months. Like the knowledge I'm giving you, you need to go and update yourself. So don't just rely on the dietitian. You go and read, be smart, learn those things. Don't be so simply, because there are a lot of truth, misinformation there. So it's up to you. It's your duty. I told you, take responsibility. Take responsibility, go and read, not just simply 5 minutes, you cannot learn these things. You have to work hard and read that, understand, change your behavior. Then only you will be able to put it into practice. Not simply bite size, this is good, this is bad. It's not like that.
Okay, thank you. I'll have a look.
So
Thank you, Chandrika.
Thank you.
We've got one question from Davinder. Davinder, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Doctor. It's a very, very good presentation, and one of the most, what can I say, presentation which actually had a relevant biology within it, okay, and the relevant biology and physiology. My situation was that 18 months ago when I was diagnosed as a type 2, I did exactly what you did, which was to take things into my own hands, change my lifestyle, change my diet, change a whole range of things. And lo and behold, my HbA1c came down from 9.6 to 6, okay? And that had happened over initially a 6-month period. I then sort of continued with that, and it stayed at that level. And then I thought, hang on, perhaps what I needed to do was to go back to see if I could get a little bit more conventional advice, because I was, perhaps I'd lost a little bit of weight, bit of muscle wastage, but I was physically in very good shape, mentally in very good shape. Yep, I was able to do quite long distance walks, no issue. And then I was informed by the dietitian, Devinder, do go onto the Diabetes UK website, okay, and follow their vegan diet. And that's okay, I would do that. But the vegan diet went against all what I knew about biology myself. And lo and behold, my HbA1c started to go up again, because there were things about eating meals 3 times a day, having watermelon, having a whole range of snacks as well, but also some good advice. But then I just found that the advice which therefore vegans, etc., did not match or suit me. And my HbA1c, which I then had checked later, 6 months later, had shot up back to 9 again. So I'm now once again trying to revert back to what I know. And today, all that what I've realized that I was doing was in line with what you've been sharing. Okay, but you were one of the first people who's been asking and just saying, take control of your life, and also to think about how lifestyle changes are so important. And we can't go on information that's based on research from 25, 30 years ago, which still informs things like the NICE guidelines.
Okay.
So
that's kind of
thought. Yeah, no.
So that's
So
the kind
yeah. So the question really is, the newer information, some of it is contradictory, because I am able to have a read and compare, and I find the newer information quite contradictory with what's currently being put forward by very many NHS. We can't ignore the NHS. They're so good, okay? They do lovely things for us, but on some fronts, their advice, I think, from my anecdotal experience, which is only from my experience, hasn't helped me until I've taken control of my own life and my own reading and my own knowledge base to work on what I did. So I'm now once again reverting to that, and trying to bring my HbA1c to a manageable and a satisfactory level.
okay.
So it's more of a long reflection, Hanif. Sorry, okay?
So that's a kind of good question. And also, it's a good experience you had. So that's what often lead to problem. So you only look at the one matrix, HbA1c. Okay, you go for vegan diet. The life is not like that. In the nutrients, there's so many nutrients your body needs. You need proteins, vitamins, carbohydrate, oil, fatty acids, phospholipids, so many things in there. So you need to look at holistically, not one person giving advice. So you do that. That's why I told you, you take responsibility. We are living in the 21st century. Information is there, all out there. You can read it and make a judgment. Then after that, do step by step. Then you can also talk to the healthcare workers, dietitian, doctors. Sometimes it's very difficult to make sense of the information. Talk to them, and then the diabetic nurses. So there are people like that. They'll be able to take it all into, and then to do that. Then regularly monitor what you're doing, the weight, muscle mass, and all those things. By doing it that way, that is a smart way of doing it, but not simply one piece of information matrix alone. So in the Glucose Revolution book, she beautifully describes the kind of different scenario. That's one way of looking at it. So read all these things together, then follow it yourself.
Thank you, Don. We've got one question from Kirti, and then we're going to go into Mr. Vaz as well. Question. So, Kirti, if you want to ask your quick question.
Yeah, so I was given this book, Glucose Revolution, as a present by one of the friends, and it's magic. But the only thing is you have to kind of read and follow that every day in order for it to work. I did for 3 months and it worked. My HbCA was down by 0.75, which was really great, and I'd lost 3 kg. But as soon as I was ill and I was taking medication, which was sugar-free, my HbCA has gone up. And for the last 6 months, I've not been able to bring it in line to what it was. But the Glucose Revolution, but how do you make it? Like, I followed it for 3 months, and like I said, it worked, but it's not an easy task to follow that every day. When you're doing full-time work, you have to read kind of, because you're not used to that habit for lifetime. it's not something that you can just implement within a 3-6 months period?
Okay. First of all, I told you the first thing is about your mindset. Everything depends on your mindset. So you have to work on your mindset. And also in here, everything is a habit. What you eat, everything is habit. So we can decide what you want your life to be, short term, long term, what you want to do, what you put in your body, why you are eating, why you're doing. So you need to look at it in the holistic way, what you want to do. The choice is yours. So the kind of, maybe you can have a doubt, you can email to the author and see what's not working for you and things. So in here, so these principles are same. The research finding principles are same. And also it may vary from people to people. You need to adjust in certain food and things like that. So you need to look at why it's not working, why it's working, so like that. So you need to follow it up that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Vaz is going to join us from Los Angeles. I think he's got a question. So I'll ask him.
Good evening, Dr. Pudavandram. Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm sorry I couldn't be there right at the start. I'm in America and I've lost track of how many hours you are ahead. I think you're about 8 hours ahead or something. The interesting thing about America is how big the portions of food are. If you order a starter, you get practically the whole kind of lamb delivered to you. Their food is eaten, people are obese, diabetes is what, is out of control in America. But one of the things that I've learned is the importance, as you say, of facts. You talk, Dr. Pudavandram, about misinformation. One of the things that I've learned from having a Freestyle Libre, my little patch here, which I pay for, is I get these facts every single minute telling me what my sugar levels are. And I've noticed, since I've been away from my morning smoothie, which contains cinnamon and berries, since I've been away from my Kerala juice, since I've been away from my egg and my asparagus, my blood sugar levels have gone out of the green box. This is the worst period that I've ever had when I've stopped my routine. My routine is 8, as Devinder said, lifestyle, take control, stop eating at 8, start eating at 8 the next morning. That huge 12 hours makes a big difference. My question to you is, having been to this meditation conference with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and learned the importance of meditation, how do we measure stress? When that needle goes up with our blood sugars, how do we know what relates to stress and what relates to what we're eating?
So the kind of things, there's no kind of single matrix to measure the stress. So that the certain hormones and things will go up and down, and also so normally in a research level they put the kind of continuous monitors in there. So like the blood sugar, as you continuous glucose monitoring, then you can buy it privately and use it for about 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It'll give you a kind of good data about how you're eating. So I have done that for a couple of times privately. And then it's a good learning for me, alter the food habits. So that's why we are working smartly. So these gadgets are available, so you can buy it and try it. That's the first thing. Second thing is about your the stress level and things. Nowadays people use a kind of heart rate monitor. There's also kind of continuous the monitor. And also there are other data which also help to understand the stress. But of course, you know by feeling it, your own feeling, you sense, your sixth sense of feeling, how you're feeling. When you're meditating and doing it over a period of time, you feel the sense of calmness. So that calmness, you're able to deal with the stress. All those things will come by experience and all those things. So nowadays, people are looking for quick fix. Give me a matrix or the life is not like that. So you have to do slowly, work on enjoy nature, and then do work, exercise. When you do all those things, you feel the stress become less. So that's why I said in my presentation, everything's holistic. Take it in the holistic. Spirituality is very important. Enjoying and work-life balance is very important. All those things are, contribute to the stress.
That's wonderful. Dr. Pudavandram, thank you so much for sparing your time to talk to the Diabetes Chai Chat. We really are very grateful. We know we're really busy. And as you can see from the comments and the questions, people are very interested in what you have to say. And please send Hanif the details of the course that you mentioned. And I think some of us should be able to be part of that at the weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.